was awesome. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We are excited to have you here at GAMA, and GAMA Expo is coming up here in just a few short days. So we thought maybe we would do an AMA for folks that might have questions, might have things that are popping up last minute. We can help you out. But before we do all that, I'm going to request a few things. First of all, if you like these AMAs, please hit the like button down below. That lets us know if you are finding value in doing these, and so we know that we can schedule more. Because hopefully this is just the first of a few that we're going to be doing later on throughout the year, and maybe leading up to Origins. I hope you all are excited about that, because we really want to kind of improve the communication between us and the members, and we think this is a really great way to start doing that. Not to throw shade on, we know that we've been kind of a short-handed or a small team, so we know that things kind of get not relayed as quickly as possible. So we're hoping to improve that, and we've got some new members on the team, including myself. I'm Doug. I'm one of the exhibitor managers, and I joined GAMA in December, shortly after PAX Unplugged. Before that, I was an exhibitor. I've been working in the industry for 4 years, and I'm really excited. I also have some convention experience as well, and some retail and sales experience. But I'm really excited to be here with GAMA, and hope we can answer some questions. I'm also going to explain that since we're all kind of new on this panel, we might not have all the answers. And if we don't have your answers, we will find you the answer and get back to you. So just bear with us, and we're learning right along with you as this process goes. But let me introduce to my right, I guess it's the left on the screen, but the other co-exhibitor manager, Beth O'Grady. Beth, you came on just the same time as I did. In December. We've been trying to learn as much as we can as behind the scenes, and trying to forge some really great relationships with the exhibitors. You want to tell folks a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, first I apologize because I seem to be coming in and out. So I guess I'm just kind of keeping things fresh with my video. But yeah, I'm really excited to have joined GAMA and seen things from the other side. I was an exhibitor before. I worked for the publisher of Choose Your Own Adventure. So some of you I might have met before. So I was an exhibitor at Expo, but hopefully we can help answer some questions for you all and get you all set and everyone ready and excited for Louisville.
So excited to be back. Louisville was such a great experience last year. It really felt like GAMA Expo took a huge step as far as like how it is as a trade show. Like, I've done other trade shows for other industries, and I've said this to quite a few folks. Louisville kind of felt like it was like an actual trade show for like an industry, and it was really nice to see our industry of tabletop gaming and all that finally get to where I believe the trade show should be for this industry, and it was really nice to see in Louisville. So it's excited to come back. Just below us is also a new member of the team, the one and only Amy Lowe. Amy, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on and being a part of this stream.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited. This is my first expo. I am new to the tabletop industry, so I am thinking that some of our viewers are going to have the same questions that I have. So looking forward to learning more about what to expect and what it's going to be like, and all of the good things.
And we're excited to have you. And when did you come on? You came on
October. I'm the veteran of this group.
You are. So thanks for doing this. And if folks are interested in any marketing for Expo next year or for Origins this year, make sure to reach out to Amy. And we've got some really exciting plans for Origins, and we're excited for all the things that we've got going on at Expo as well. But we're already starting plans for Origins, so that's exciting to know that. Just because Expo is happening, it doesn't mean that we're not working immediately after on other projects. So, All right, let's start this AMA. Look at all these wonderful folks that have joined us. We've got 37 live viewers, and Monica's in the chat. Monica, thank you so much for joining us. Jose, thank you. Jamie, Sean, Janet, David, MythWorks, excited to see you guys at the expo. Michael, Amber, Marion, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you giving your time. So let's get to it. Let's answer some questions. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We do have some pre-made questions that we've already put here behind the scenes, but we would love to get some questions from the live chat as well.
Oh,
and Julie's here. Julie is here. Thank you so much. Julie is who Beth and I report to. We were actually brought on because Julie is extremely busy. Like it's crazy how much goes and gets funneled to Julie. So they brought Beth and I on to help with some of that workload. So it's really awesome to be able to kind of take some of that stress off of Julie, some of that workload. And so some of you probably know Julie already. You still interact with Julie and email and contact Julie, but Beth and I are both here to kind of help support Julie and kind of take off some of that workload from her, because she does quite a bit behind the scenes, and we really appreciate all that she does. And don't be offended if you reach out to Julie and Julie says, "Oh, this is Beth, Doug, can you please help so and so?" And just we're here to help everybody else. Ron, thank you so much. Michelle, Tony, appreciate y'all. All right.
Ready for questions?
Yeah, look at this. Jonathan says, I can't find a schedule or details for the Play Your Game with Retailers events I paid for in the evenings. Julie says, Jonathan, that information will be in your inbox by morning.
There you go. Question one answered.
Question one, cha-ching! Already. Look at that. Look at that. We didn't even have to do anything. We just. That's awesome. Thank you, Julie. You're the best. All right, Jonathan, hit us up. Let's get. And anybody else that has questions, please feel free to.
I have a question.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm curious about how people get to GAMA Expo. So they drive in, they fly in. What happens?
Unfortunately, this year we don't have the airport shuttle, so you'll have to make your own arrangements, but it's really not far from the airport to get to the Kick, or if you're staying at the Galt House or Embassy Suites or anything around there. So please remember to book your own transportation, and we'll see you at the Kick.
What about the flooding? Is there anything that folks need to know about navigating Louisville with the flooding that they've been having?
We have been advised by people in Louisville to use Waze. Waze, is that right? To make sure that you're able to navigate. Some streets are flooded. And the parking garage is it the Galt or the Kick?
Galt, I think.
The Galt, you'll want to park on the second level or higher.
Awesome.
Just in case.
Yeah. Not to worry anyone, but there has been some flooding, but hopefully it looks like the weather's going to be all right. But bring an umbrella for sure.
Actually, the next week looks pretty nice compared to this week. So hopefully, hope that stays the forecast stays the same. Let's see here. Jonathan says, I've got a minivan. It sounds like on my load-in day, I can just go right to the dock without going to the yard first. Is that right? I believe that's correct.
Yes.
You should just be able to go in. You might have to. There's like a line. Isn't there like a waiting line that they have to get in?
Check Burn One View too. They will have more specifics on that, as well as the timing and days that you're able to load in. So definitely check with your Fern One View portal.
Let's see here. Can we still pay for that service. We're a little late on the mark on that one. What service are you referring to, Sean? Curious to know. Let us know and we'll
tell you with the retailers, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Let's see here. Confirmation on purchased signage. Mr. Game Show. Mr. Game Show is an exhibitor that I know I've loaded into tabletop events, and I remember seeing their exhibitor information come in. So I'm excited to see what Mr. Game Show's bringing to Expo this year. Confirmation on purchased signage of the play sessions. Okay. Matt, that might be a question for Julie, since the information is going out tomorrow. I know that, Mr. Game Show, did you load all of your graphics onto Google Drive? And it's kind of one of those things where we kind of have to know if you've put in the files. And I am assuming Grace, our director behind the scenes, actually the one that's dealt with a lot of the signage and everything. Maybe even Grace behind the scenes can let us know if she remembers.
You can also email us at exhibitors@gamma.org if there are questions that are really specific to marketing or things that you purchased and you're waiting for follow-up on. So,
and Grace says that there is a Mr. Game Show sign being printed as we speak. So confirmed.
Yes. Yeah, and Julie even says your wayfinding and floor cleans have been printed. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see here. What else? Amber wants to know if she can have a fog machine at our booth. See, we were wondering if we were going to get some questions that were just like, I don't know. Like, are there going to be any questions that throw us for a loop? This is definitely one of those questions. I don't know if you all remember, one year someone actually gave away bacon at their booth. It was amazing. It was the most genius marketing thing. I want to know how Amber's using this fog machine at her booth. But I don't know. I guess it depends on how far it kind of emits out. I guess that's a question that we might have to ask behind the scenes and get back to you, Amber. I hope. Well, Amber, shoot us an email at exhibitors@gamma.org.
We'll follow up with Fern, who are the exhibitor services, to see what the rules are on that and let you know.
I love it. If the fog smells like bacon, then I'm all for it. Let's see here. What are the rules for booths? Beth, you want to take that one?
Sure. You can find more specific information about our booth rules and regulations in the Expo rules and regulations. But for the most part, you need to have anything 4 feet or higher in the back half of your exhibit. So you can't have any tall signs in the front of your exhibit because we don't want to ruin the line of sight for other exhibitors. But there's more information about that in the rules and regulations. And we'll also be going around the exhibit hall to check and make sure that everyone is in regulation.
I'm sure this is in some of the emails that have gone out already, but we are staying at the embassy. Is there a shuttle that goes to the other event locations? That is a great question, Ron. And I can answer that one. Yes, there is. There will be a shuttle that goes from the Kick to the Galt House, or the embassy to the Kick to the Galt House. It's going to do a constant loop throughout the day. And I know it has some specific hours, but those are the three. Those are the three locations that it's going to take place. It's just going to run on a constant loop and go from one location to the other. But I'm sorry, didn't mean that.
Yeah, no, the hours vary. So it's something like 8:30 to 6 or 6:30 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 10, I think it's 10 to 11:30 or 10 to 11 in the evening to coincide with the game nights. And then on Thursday, it's, I want to say 8:30 to 5 or so. That information is also posted on our social channels, and you can find it in the member group in addition. So.
Also in the app, make sure you download the GAMA Expo app because you're going to find a lot of this information there.
That is a great suggestion. Yeah, the app is super handy, and Beth has been hard at work loading all the information into it. So you can, and David as well. But Beth is doing a lot of work behind the scenes with the app. So if you enjoy the app,
Let Beth know.
Yeah, let Beth know.
If you don't like it, let Doug know.
Yeah, if you don't like it, that's
yeah.
You can just blame me. That's fine.
Yeah, I get the compliments. Doug gets the complaints.
That's right. That's how this whole co-exhibitor manager system works. Let's see here. Trevor Cuba asks, as a graphic designer, I am interested in what kind of network opportunities will be at Expo, as well as future ways my Gamma membership will support creators. That is great. I know that there's a couple networking events. There's Amy, do you want to talk a little bit about that? I know that there's one specifically on Sunday.
Yeah, there's one for publishers and creators, a publisher and creator networking event. That's you can find in the app and in TTE, so you can get the day and time there. And then I think there's like a lot of informal networking that kind of happens too, right? Like it's kind of meetups and things like that.
Yeah, there's a space at the Galt. It's called the Conservancy. It's got like a coffee shop and a bar and a ton of tables there. And a lot of people congregate there. They play games. They have meetings. It's a really nice spot to go grab a coffee or a drink and chat with some folks.
And also, Trevor, of course, there's the GAMA Expo Hall, which will have a whole bunch of exhibitors and publishers, creatives, and all sorts of industry people. Feel free to drop off a business card or show off your portfolio. I know most folks are there to converse and connect with retailers, but that you should definitely use that time as well to just kind of check in and just say, hey, do that little brief introduction and be like, hey, if you have more time later on, here's my business card. Feel free to reach out, or you can maybe even get their information and reach out to them after the fact.
Another great thing to do is create a Calendly. You can get a free account on Calendly, and you can drop that in the member group. You can drop it, in the app. You can connect with different people in the app, and then also have that on your profile, so you can have people connect with you and set up times to meet that way as well.
Monica says Sunday at 4 p.m. Creator Publisher Networking event. Yeah, that's nice. A great event. And I'm going to tell folks, if you can, make sure you come every single day to GAMA Expo, because there's so much information, so much networking, so many different things that you can take advantage of while you're there. And it's definitely worth coming in, as early as possible for GAMA Expo.
Yeah, when I was exhibiting, I would do a lot of the seminars. One of the things that stood out to me as a first-time exhibitor was how many educational seminars there were that were relevant for an exhibitor. Yeah. Not only did I learn a whole lot, but I got to network, and you're meeting and listening to a lot of industry veterans who have so much experience and knowledge. And be sure to bring business cards if you attend those seminars, because I definitely connected with a lot of the people on the panels who are speaking, but also attending the sessions. It's an excellent way to network as well.
Yeah, a lot of those folks can kind of prevent you from making the mistakes that they made, and it's really neat. And you can kind of take a look at it, especially if you're a similar publisher or you have aspirations to be like a certain publisher. You can kind of see how they approach things and kind of take notes and figure out, not copy that, but kind of find your own way to approach the industry a little way they had, but put your own spin on it. Julie says, music, special lighting, fog machine, etc. must be pre-approved by the exhibitor manager. So they got to be pre-approved by you, Beth.
Me?
Beth, that's you.
There.
I'm pretty sure that's.
Send us an email and we'll talk about it.
What did it say? It said music, fog machine. I think I'm in charge of the music. You're in charge of the fog machine.
The
Yeah,
bacon.
special lighting.
Who's in charge of the bacon?
Yeah, whoever's in charge of the bacon, that's who I get to approve. First timer here, I got a badge number, but it says my badge has no ticket. Did I miss something?
Send us an email, Jose, and we'll look into it tomorrow, and we'll fix it for you.
I think the tickets usually are just for events, right? Isn't that how it works with tabletop events? Yeah. So
You should have gotten a confirmation email with a QR code on it, but again, send us an email and we can look into it. I do want to pop in and say there are some questions about the app. It's you get the GAMA app, and then you're gonna go to Explore, and you're gonna enter a passphrase, and the passphrase for the app is.
I think we just send that. I don't think we say that here. I think we
can't say passphrase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can email us. You can email either exhibitors@gamma.org, or you can email media@gamma.org, and we'll get that to you. It's also in the newsletter that's gone out, so you can check in there. And the member group also has it. So.
I was trying to give away our trade secrets.
I know. Got to watch you.
I'm an open book.
Sean asks, we are going to play in the Galt Bar, but where are you, and are you not allowed to demo, if any? I haven't had any issues with GAMA. I mean, pretty much if you're at the Galt Bar, if you're in a public meeting space, and you're playing a game and kind of showing it off, I don't think that anybody's going to tell you not to play a game, because I've seen people just in all sorts of different common spaces just playing games and everything. Now, are you going to set up like actual booth and start handing out flyers and stuff? Probably not. But there's nothing to show off a game or play it or whatever in some of those common areas. But we probably won't kick you out. But there's definitely reserved rooms and reserved areas for the people who have paid for, and you definitely let you know if you're in one of those. But make sure to ask probably before you start demoing, especially in especially over the kick. What promotional materials am I allowed to distribute, and how am I allowed to distribute them? That's a great question.
Well, if you're at your booth, you can distribute basically what you want, as long as it's legal. We would recommend having catalogs, sell sheets, order forms, any of that type of material.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an exhibitor, definitely bring that stuff, because you definitely want something for the retailers to walk away with. Just because some of those retailers can't always, they have so much information coming at them on the expo hall that a lot of it they can't always just remember. So anything that they can take with them to look at after the fact is good. Especially if you're accepting orders after the fact, it's definitely good to have them have something physical that they can walk away with.
No stickers or food, Julie says. So
no stickers or food. That's a good quote. That is good to know. Let's see here. How do I collect exhibitor information? What kind of information should I be collecting? Beth, you've collected exhibitor information previously. I know I did as well. What do you give? What do you give for suggestions on this?
It kind of depends on what you're comfortable with. If you want to do an electronic form or anything like that, I'm very old fashioned, and I always had actual sign up sheets where I would collect. I would collect people's name, obviously the company name, email, phone number. And then I always had a little pad, and I would jot down any notes to remember who that retailer was. Anything that, can make you remember them. Something that was really helpful for me as an exhibitor, and I know for other retailers at shows, again, very old fashioned, but some retailers would come with their information on a pre-printed label, just like a an address label and they would just take it off and stick it on the sheet. And it was so easy. So if you are an attendee, I would suggest that might be something to do, is just do a quick mail merge and do a sheet of labels with your information on there.
Are there any restrictions on recording video in the exhibit area? Hope to grab some B-roll for my YouTube report. Yes. Amy, do you want to take this one? This is kind of a big one that we should probably address for folks that are looking to create content while they're at GAMA Expo.
Yeah, so it's a great idea to definitely ask before you record, especially if you're getting other booths in your shot. They might have things that are embargoed and you don't want to violate that. Also, you want to respect folks' privacy. So definitely make sure anybody that's in your shot, you have their permission to film, and just let them know that, you know, they're going to be in your shot. They should have the option to not be included if they don't want to be on video. So always ask.
That's a great reminder that GAMA Expo is a B2B in an industry event. It's not open to the general public. So a lot of these exhibitors do make announcements here, and you get to kind of their first look at some of the things that might be licensed or might be just, you know, something that they want to just tease to retailers. So definitely we have to make sure that is respected, and you know, we don't want to get anybody in trouble for especially something that's licensed, because we've, you know, that's something that they can be really tricky. Julie says no stickers is mandated by the convention center. Cleanup is time consuming and costly. This is true. This is true.
We have David, our education manager, here too. David, I hope you heard me talking up the educational seminars earlier and how important I think they are. But David said you should visit Nicole Brady's education session. You can look for it on Tabletop Events or the app.
I'm going to agree with Beth on the collecting of information. Definitely have like especially a mailing list. You know, just put a list out there and take email addresses and have, that's a good way to stay in contact with retailers throughout the year once you've met them at Expo. As an indie game designer with limited budget, what is the best way for us to connect with attending retailers? That is a good question. If the best way is definitely getting a booth at GAMA Expo. That'll get you in front of quite a few exhibitors or retailers, because folks sometimes folks just come just for the expo hall. As much as we'd love to have them come for all of the event, you know, sometimes the priority is the expo hall. So I'm going to tell you that if you can swing it, definitely get an expo hall booth, because that's going to be the top priority to connect with the retailers outside of the expo hall. Beth, what would you think as far as that? I'd say do like some of the networking events, the game nights,
the welcome events, the breakfasts. Just try to attend as many seminars and networking events as possible. Go to the game nights. Game nights are perfect for meeting retailers and kind of getting your name out there and talking to people as well. And I always say, if you're up for it, go to the bar afterwards. Go just integrate yourself with people. You really kind of have to push yourself in other people's faces, I've found, in order to really connect well. But just meet as many people as you possibly can. Sometimes I've found that if I can find someone who's more of a veteran, for you, it would be a veteran game designer who can help introduce you to other people. So also attend any type of networking for game designers as well.
That's a good tip. Michael R. says, is there going to be an interactive version of the exhibitor floor map available that we can save booth locations? Right now, I'm just making a manual checklist.
So
that
I don't
probably be,
Yeah, I don't think we do have an interactive map on the app, but you can't save booth locations in there. So that's just not a function of the app that we are using. So you'll have to make a manual note or print out. I believe the site book is live on the website, and that has the maps as well, right? I think the site book went live today. So you can also just download that and then print the page off and the old fashioned way with paper. So unfortunately, that's it.
Let's see here. Julie also has a great tip. And says to connect with the retailers as a GAMA member, you have access to the GAMA retailer member list that is available on the GAMA website. Of course, that is one of the main reasons why folks sign up for membership. And so don't forget that option as well. It's always available. Are there any guidelines on sound level at the booth? That is a good question. I'm going to say, as someone that's also been an exhibitor for many years, anything that kind of interferes with my ability to interact with folks that are coming up to my booth would not be very nice. I would say be courteous to the folks that are around you. Mm-hmm. Make sure that don't do anything that's definitely going to interfere with their ability to be successful on the expo hall floor. I've done so many shows, and they've played music and stuff, and it's been so loud, or someone has like a speaker, like a microphone amplifier, and it's just kind of like totally like it just overpowers everybody else in the area. So don't be that guy. Don't be that person. Just be considerate of those around you. I'm sure that there's probably some sort of thing, Julie says music, special lighting, fog machine must be pre-approved by the exhibitor manager. So I guess, check with us to let us know what you have planned, and we can let you know what you should do. And you can email us at exhibitors@gamma.org. Love it. Who's in charge of keeping Doug out of the...
We have to lure him out with raspberry Pop-Tarts. That's
apparently.
Oh my God.
He also does it. Beth is what I've taken away from this. Yeah.
I wonder. So Matt McLeod is the guy behind Lurking Fears. He also does a lot of stuff for tabletop role-playing publishers. Supports a lot of those folks. And the running joke between my friends is that I love Old Spaghetti Factory. I love Italian food to begin with, although you can't really say that Old Spaghetti Factory is Italian food, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I love Old Spaghetti Factory. My flight won't get there until Ramon says my flight won't get there until 1 a.m. on Sunday. Oh my gosh, so sorry about that. That's rough. So I'll miss any Sunday event. What's the best network event to catch up? Amy, do you have any idea what there's something going on Monday night, if I'm not mistaken?
We do have the DEI reception, diversity reception. I think that's on Tuesday, isn't it? Is it Tuesday or Monday? One of those days. But that would be a good event to stop in and meet some folks and network. So I would recommend that one.
Yeah, I would say any of the dinners definitely. If DEI is on DEI reception is on Tuesday, I would say go to the game nights as well. I can't stress the game nights enough. Those are super great networking opportunities. Even if you don't go to game, there'll be people that'll just be like standing around talking and conversing, and it's a really great way to catch up with folks.
We also have our committee open house. That's a great opportunity to meet the folks on the committees, and also kind of start building your network and talking with people. So I would recommend the committee open house as well.
Sure, absolutely. Sean says, will there be any after parties, or does anyone know of any going on that we should pre-register for? I don't know. I'm not the cool kid. I don't get invited to any parties. So Sean, if you get invited to any parties, make sure you bring me along, because I don't get invited to those. But most of those, there's some certain things going on. Mostly it's game nights after hours. Those usually go from like 8 to 11 most nights. Are there any other events going on in the evenings that we should know about?
I think people congregate at the bars. At
Yeah.
the Conservancy, I know I keep pushing that, but I know how busy it was. As someone who's in bed by 9 p.m., I only heard about it. but also game nights are great. Anyone can attend the game nights. They are free. Even if you are an exhibitor, you can absolutely attend the game nights. So that's a really, from what I've heard, a raucous good time.
Beth, I think we have Wednesday night game night that we're going to be at.
Yeah.
So you're going to be up past 9:30. Are you going to make it?
No, it's going to be a weekend of Bernie's situation where you're going to have to.
It's just going to be like us behind the scenes. Let's see here. Julie says, "Oh, for the folks that want to make a list of the for the exhibitors," Julie says in the app, if you go to the exhibit hall map, click on the exhibitor you want to visit, you can use Create Note feature, put in the booth number, and then go to the notes in the main menu, and it will create a list. That's a nice little tip. Janet Patterson, who I know Janet, thank you so much for tuning in, Janet. For those who are not GAMA members or new, can you do a quick breakdown of benefits and purposes of GAMA? I can definitely do that if you want me to do it. GAMA is a great organization for the tabletop industry. It gives you all sorts of benefits. Most notably, we do two shows. We do one called GAMA Expo, which is a B2B and industry event, which is happening in Louisville in a few days. It takes place, and it's just an amazing. It's one of my favorite shows of the year, just because you get to meet so many folks in the industry and see what they're up to, and you get to see, like, you get to hear about all their plans and everything. It's kind of really great way to kind of just connect with other folks in the industry. And then we also do Origins, which is an attendee show, which, you know, it's kind of like it's a gaming convention. More typical one. There are some trade there. We do a trade day before GAMA Expo, so there is some retailer side of it as well. But it's mostly an attendee event, a gaming convention, which is super fun. That takes place in Columbus, Ohio, and it's again one of my favorite shows of the year, just because it's a little more laid back. It's definitely a gaming convention. So if you are a GAMA member, you get 2 passes. 2 for GAMA Expo, 2 for Origins, and then you also get discounts if you want to exhibit at either show. There's also member benefits for like health insurance and all sorts of. Amy, you can kind of
tuition,
explain a little bit more about this.
Yeah, shipping discounts. There's all kinds of services that we offer. There's also attractions and ticket discounts for things like movies and Disney and things like that. Brian's done a great job of really curating a bunch of member benefits for our members. And then also David's been doing a really great job with education and programming to really support our members and help them kind of level up. So, I mean, we have a great team doing a lot of great things.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and it's been really great to see the membership grow over these last few years. So it's been awesome. David Henson wants to know: are people in costumes at GAMA Expo? Not usually, since it's a B2B show. It's an industry show. At Origins, there's definitely cosplay going on at Origins, and that's going to be a big thing that we have. We'll be featuring this year for Origins. You'll probably find out. You probably might have seen in one of the newsletters that we've got a cosplay photographer coming in for the first time this year, but we'll have more details on that later on. We've got some really exciting things for Origins. So for GAMA Expo, not too many folks in costumes. Betty wants to know, how do you register for the women's and non-binary breakfast? That is a great question. Does anybody? You
can do it in TTE. Yeah, so you just go to TTE and you can search for breakfast, and you can register it that way.
Yep. There are a limited amount of tickets, so you want to make sure you register for that in advance and let us know that you're coming. But we're really excited. What should I bring with me to GAMA Expo? That is a good question. Beth, what do you think that folks should bring with them to GAMA Expo?
Well, first, just want to say TTE stands for tabletop events, in case anyone is confused by that.
Yes.
I'm bad with acronyms. So for an exhibitor or anyone attending, I have always found myself very cold at trade shows. So bring a light jacket or a heavy jacket. Bring a raincoat because apparently, or an umbrella because it might be a little rainy. Lots of business cards, lots and lots of business cards, a notepad to take copious amounts of notes, an iPad if that's your type of thing as well, water bottle, snacks. You might not have time to eat a whole lot, like have a sit down lunch. So I've always have like granola bars and a heavy snack with me as well. And as I mentioned before, labels with your information on it if you're attending, so you can quickly give people your information.
Yeah. What sort of food options are there? Well, let me tell you, someone that likes to eat, there are a lot of food options. Yeah, there are a lot of food options besides Old Spaghetti Factory, because let's shout out to, we're going to try to get that Old Spaghetti Factory sponsorship before too long here, before we leave Louisville. Yeah, there's a lot of different places to eat around the convention center. I know that there's some vendors in the convention center as well. Jamie wants to know, are there any recommendations on vegan food options?
Yes, Louisville actually has a lot of vegan options. And the Louisville Tourism Board has, they break it down by cuisine type. And they also recommend that you visit Yelp because you can filter by Yelp, like whatever kind of dietary restrictions or food you're looking for, you can search on Yelp. But I have personally scoped out the vegan options, and it seems to be quite plentiful in Louisville. So,
Jamie actually has a question in the chat that says, "Are the game nights free to attend? Yes, they are. They are free to attend. So if you'd like to, if you're going to be at GAMA Expo, feel free to swing into the game nights. You get to play a lot of different games. Swoop card game. Swoop, there it is, right there. We launched a family shedding style card game in late 2024. Any recommendations on how best to leverage the expo? Seems like much is focused on RPG, TCG, and video games.
So
family shedding style card game.
My recommendation for some of those more family style oriented games is to try to get people involved in your game as much as possible. Do as many demos as you can, just to get a little bit of action around your booth, or if you're at a game night table, or if you're at the bar or anything. Try to get people to engage with your game and physically play it, rather than just telling people about it.
This is definitely one of those options where I would think that game night would be ideal. So next year, if you plan on attending, maybe getting a game night table at one of the game nights would be choice.
Hey,
Michael R says, yeah,
how early can people get those game night tables for next year? When does registration open up?
I believe we send an email shortly after Expo. So it's especially for exhibitors. So I think they get a packet about registering for next year. I think right at the convention center, and then we send them an email shortly after. So definitely if you're looking at exhibiting or renewing for next year, definitely be on the lookout for that right as soon as the expo's done. Game night tables, that's a good question. I don't know how soon those kind of closed out before I came on board. So I know that they're a limited number. So the supply and demand there's a lot more demand than there are supply. So definitely check with us as soon as possible if you're looking to get a game night table. And Julie does say marketing and sponsorships for 2026, game night tables included, usually come out in the fall. Make sure to check that out. So yeah, if it's something you'd like to be in the loop for, make sure to shoot us an email at exhibitors@gama.org. We'll be glad to keep you in the loop. I'm a first-time retail attendee. Michael, thank you so much. I'm excited to that you're coming. Make sure to stop by and introduce yourself when you're there. My shop is 9 months old and looking to expand. That's awesome. Love hearing that it's being so successful that you're already in the works of expanding it. What would you consider to be a must-see do besides the expo hall? What do you think, Beth?
I think so. I am such a big proponent of connecting with others who are in the same membership channel as you. It's helped me in the past make connections and just learn better and have someone to answer questions. And so I would definitely recommend, we have 2 retailer breakfasts, Tuesday, Thursday, I believe, that you want to register for, and attend any of the retailer seminar tracks, educational tracks. So be sure to go into tabletop events or the app and take a look at that, and try to meet a lot of retailers is really, because I know as a publisher, it helped me out so much to meet other publishers to help kind of break in a little more.
The other thing that I would suggest is Michael, you probably know your community at this point, since you've been in business for 9 months. You kind of know what your communities that has come around as far as what they're interested in, what groups kind of come to your store. I would definitely, any exhibitor or any publisher that has a premier presentation or a speed presentation that puts out any game or product that your community is behind, definitely make sure to sign up for those premier presentations and speed presentations, so you know what's kind of probably coming out later on down the road this year, and what plans they have going on, because that's only going to help you get your community more excited about those products that are coming out, and just helps you with sales down the road. But yeah, definitely all those presentations are must see. A lot of times they give you a good early look, and you get kind of early reveals as to what they've got going on.
Oh, just to jump in here real quick, the retailer breakfasts are just for retailers, by the way. So yes, that's why I was suggesting it. If you're a retailer, go to the retailer breakfast, because you're going to be connecting with other retailers.
And I just want to jump in really quickly too and say that our friend Betty Tatum is in the chat giving recommendations for bourbon flights and all kinds of restaurants too. So I wanted to give Betty a shout out and a thank you.
Shout out to Betty. Thank you so much, Betty. Excited I love having Louisville locals as kind of our go-to folks for suggestions. It's awesome to have that kind of those recommendations. Let's see here. Jonathan says, I'm a publisher trying to sell games to retailers. Am I able to attend the retailer roundtable on Sunday night? I think that's mostly for retailers, correct? I don't think that's not for publishers.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for retailers to kind of network and kind of share ideas and everything. Yeah, I think that's probably not optimal to be at that event as a publisher. Jackson says, hello, I'm a first-time attendee. Jackson, welcome. We're excited to have you. And my company makes a miniatures-based war game. Where do you think the best place to show that off would be? We're bringing small armies, but it is still large. Well, are you in the exhibit hall, or are you just planning on showing off the games that you create? Yeah, if it's something that requires a lot of space, you're probably not going to have very much luck. But yeah, I would say definitely if you're not in the expo hall, it's probably going to be pretty difficult because a lot of those areas definitely are like common areas. So to just kind of set up and be somewhere that's not the expo hall is going to be pretty rough. Let me know, Jackson, if you've got exhibit hall space. When is the publisher's breakfast?
I am not aware of a publisher's breakfast.
I would love to have yeah. That's a good question.
There are sometimes events that are organized by folks just kind of on an individual basis too, and those are not reflected in our schedule. So that might be a question for your board rep who is a publisher.
I love that. I would love a publisher breakfast. As a publisher looking to network with other publishers, what should I not miss? Let's see here. I keep going back to game nights, but yeah. You know, I think that's everybody's kind of doing their own thing as far as you know, presentations and stuff during the week. The expo hall is also just a really good way to network as well, really quickly. Game nights seem to be like more casual, and people are more, you know, you can kind of more interact with folks on a casual basis. I'm trying to think. Definitely.
Hall, oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No,
the exhibit hall opens an hour early if you have an exhibitor badge. So I would sometimes go early and walk the floor, and just whoever is there, just talk to them, as long as they're not busy. You know, obviously don't bug someone if they're trying to set up their booth or do anything. But that was always, I found that always to be a great time to meet other publishers and swap business cards and shake hands.
Yep, for sure. We didn't get an exhibitor space this year, so we're hoping to be able to run demos somewhere. That's going to be pretty tricky, to be honest with you. The conservatory has some spaces, but you know, it has some open play areas. But I don't know if you're going to be able to camp out for a long period of time and just set up like a big minis war game space. Yeah. Yeah, shoot us an email. exhibitors@gamma.org. Thank you, Grace. Shout out to Grace. Grace, our director behind the scenes. Like, everybody give Grace some props. Grace is doing a phenomenal job. But yes, definitely shoot us an email. We'll see what we can do for you. We're glad. We want to make sure that everybody is successful at GAMA Expo, and we can't guarantee that we can give you some space, but we might be able to point you in some right directions. Where do I go if I need help during the show? Well, there's a couple different areas if you'd like. One, if you're an exhibitor, there's an exhibitor help desk in the back corner of the exhibit hall. So if you're having issues with anything with the exhibitors, we're right by the Fern. I think there's a Fern desk as well. But you can definitely, somebody should be back there in the back. I think it's the back right corner. Registration should also have some GAMA members. Where else do you think folks should go if they need help during the show?
It depends on what kind of help. The convention center also has security. So if there's something that you need security for, you should be able to find them and flag them down. We also have an anti-harassment and anti-bullying policy. So if there's anything that happens with regard to harassment or bullying, you can absolutely flag one of our staff or volunteers or security down. And we also do have a complaint process for that as well. And that is on our website in our anti-harassment policy. And those are the parts that I know. So what else do we have? Anything else?
I mean, pretty much if you see somebody with a GAMA badge, flag us down. And if we can't help you, then we'll definitely find someone that can, and we'll be glad to do what we can to help. That's for sure.
Oh, can I pop
Annabelle?
In?
Yeah, go ahead.
So just a little bit more info on the retailer roundtable. It is retailer focused, and it's an opportunity for anyone interested in running for the retail board to learn more.
Oh, very cool. Did not know that. Annabelle asked, during the hosted media event on Monday, because we do have that going on Monday, can you have a retractable banner at your table? So one of those like vinyl hoisting, like, you know, pull it up?
I think they mean the media first look event too, just to clarify for everybody else. I think.
Yeah. Sorry, media first look. Yeah. I know. I think I've seen folks with those previously, but you'll have to forgive me if I'm wrong. But I think you can do that. But there's a lot of times there's a lot of people walking around those tables, so it might not be recommended. What do you think, Beth? You've gone to some of these before.
I actually have never been to a media first event, so this is definitely something I would have to ask and then get back to you about.
Definitely don't put it on top of your table. That's for sure. But I would maybe Julie can answer this in the question.
Julie said yes, as long as you don't interfere with the aisles or your neighbor's space. Tabletop signs are better.
Cool.
All right.
I thought so. I thought I saw some previously. Are there any wheeled dollies for Exhibitor bringing in their booth setup? Which we should also point out, you have to go through the loading dock to bring in your exhibitors. You cannot bring in your booth setup even by hand through the front entrance or the side entrance. You have to go through the loading dock. Let's make sure that everybody's clear on that, because I guess that we need to make sure that was definitely a thing that happened last year and was not. It didn't go over very well, so we need to make sure everybody uses what street is it, Beth? It's Second Street.
Second Street, yeah. We'll have signs.
Use that. Yeah, there's an entrance and a loading dock back that way. Make sure you use those entrances, not the front entrances and the side entrances, just because it's not good. Not good.
As far as dollies, I don't think they have any for people to use that I'm aware of. Sometimes other exhibitors are nice and you can borrow theirs, but I don't recall there being any just available for use.
Yeah, if you're driving in, definitely just make it easier for yourself, and if you can fit one in, definitely fit one into your load in with your cargo. But yeah, I wouldn't plan on anybody having any. A lot of these places are union, so a lot of the time they can't lend you some of the stuff without so that they can't always provide those. But like Beth said, sometimes your neighbor does have one, and I know I've lent my cart or wagon to folks so that it kind of help them out. So it doesn't mean that there won't be any available on the floor from other folks that might be helpful, but. If you can bring your own, if you're driving, definitely do it just to save yourself some of that headache.
I've gotten a little luggage, kind of collapsible dollies that are pretty small and lightweight. You might want to check like Home Depot or something for those. I've used those in the past, as long as you don't obviously have super huge, heavy boxes and cartons.
For sure. When can I start setting up my booth? Does it have to be during my scheduled time? So that's one thing that does happen to be a little bit different this year, is that there are staggered setup times for the exhibit hall, just because since we had to move GAMA Expo so that didn't coincide with New York Toy Fair, we had to move it to this week, but unfortunately there is other events going on at the Kick, so some of the exhibit hall was opened up. They will be opened up earlier before they clear out the other event out. So that is kind of why there's a staggered load-in and setup times for certain booths. There's a whole list. I know it says we've sent out an email that has the booth numbers and the start times. And the setup times. Beth, do you? It's quite a list.
Check the Fern One View portal. It'll have a schedule for move in as well as move out. It lists the exact booth numbers. So definitely look at your Fern One View. You don't have to do it at the exact time. You can't move in earlier than your time. You absolutely cannot move in earlier than your allotted time, but you can move in later. So if you're scheduled to move in on Monday at 2 p.m., you can load in 2 p.m. on Monday or later, moving up to Wednesday if you want. But you cannot go earlier.
Jose asks, are there any events that need registering for, and what are those? Because everything seems to be just like an open schedule. Correct. That is correct. There are a few things that you need. Those tickets and TTE event, tabletop events. Those are mostly the breakfast, I believe, for that. But everything else seems to be first come, first serve. Unless I missed anything. Did I miss?
The DEI dinner. Yeah, the DEI dinner you have to register for if you're going to attend that, and the breakfast. As far as I know, that's all.
Nice. Yeah, I mean it's. How can I promote my presence at Expo if I'm not exhibiting? Speaking as the marketing and communications person, and let's throw this one to Amy, since Amy might be able to give some insight on this.
So definitely join our member group and make sure you're posting in there that you're going to be at Expo. Our Facebook group is a great opportunity for you to kind of network ahead of time and set up those meetings and appointments, especially if you have a Calendly. That's great. Let people know what you're looking for. It's also a great opportunity to ask for advice if you're not sure. If you're like, this is my first time, what should I be doing? It's also a great place where people will chime in and let you know, who are also a part of your member group, what you can do and how you can promote yourself. Definitely also post on your Facebook. If you have a business, post the event on your business page, and make sure that, you create an event and people see that you're going to be there. That's also another great way to get attention. You can engage with our posts on social media. If you hashtag GAMA Expo and GAMA Expo 2025, other people can also find your posts that way. Those are the hashtags we're using this year. So it's another great way to connect with folks. And then promote your presence. Definitely business cards, like Doug and Beth have said, sell sheets, all of that is great to have with you as well. And then use those informal networking opportunities. Go up to somebody who's just standing around and introduce yourself. Self-promote.
There's a couple other things that I would just want to interject. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Beth. If you want to go for it. Sorry.
Just a real quick point. The DEI dinner is by invite only.
Oh, okay. The other thing that I will tell folks that GAMA, there's a great GAMA member Facebook group. So if you're a Facebook user, definitely be a part of that, and be a part of those. There's some great discussions going on in that Facebook group as far as things that are going on. We also have a Discord channel, or a Discord server. So if you are interested in, and you do the Discords like all the kids are doing these days, we're doing all the cool kid stuff. Speaking as as a middle-aged dad, there's a great Discord community as well, and it's got various channels for Expo, membership, origins, just all sorts of different channels, and it's a great way to connect. I always tell folks, promoting your presence is also just being part of the community, and once more people get to know you and get to know what you're doing, that just benefits you when you go to these things like Expo. People, oh yeah, I know you from such and such conversation, or I know you from such and such posts. It creates easier ways to start conversations and such. So definitely be a part of the GAMA member Facebook group and the Discord as well. Just it's just great to have those resources available for you. Jose says, but the breakfast is just for retailers. No, just for retailers. It is just for retailers. Correct. The exhibit hall schedule is in the Exhibitor newsletters and in the Fern OneView portal. This is a great time to mention, please read the newsletters. I think Julie will definitely definitely get after Beth and I if we do not mention. Please read the newsletters. We put a lot of time and effort in it, especially this wonderful person down here puts a lot of time and effort into the newsletters. The newsletters do have a lot of information on them, and a lot of the questions that come in can be answered usually through the information that's provided in the GAMA newsletters. So feel free to please take a look through them. I know that sometimes there's a lot of information in there, but it is very vital, and it can answer and probably save you a lot of time and headache as well. Let's see here. Check your newsletter for the social media links. Let's see here. Where do I pick up my badge? Can one person pick up the badges for their entire team? What about for friends?
Badge registration
Yeah.
location. Yeah, badge registration location and hours are in the app and tabletop events. They are in ballroom D. So Sunday, it's at the Galt.
Correct.
Then the remaining days are at the Kick in ballroom D. But please check the app or tabletop events for the exact hours. So we'll have registration there. Yes, one person can pick up badges for the entire team. What about for friends? No, you cannot pick up your friend's badge. They'll need to come pick it up, or their company contact will need to pick that up for them. Be sure to bring your QR code too. It'll make the process a lot faster. And if you haven't registered for badges, please do so. You'll do it through tabletop events. When you log in, if you do not see Expo 2025, that means that the email that you're using to log in is different than the one that we have for the Expo 2025. Shoot us an email, we'll fix it. And if you are confused at all about badge registration, shoot us an email. We have tutorials and videos, but please register your badges before. Oh, sorry. Julie was just mentioning for badges, exhibitors are the only ones that are distributed as a group. So if you are an attendee, it's individual badge pickup. So thank you, Julie, for that clarification. But yeah, please register your badges. Otherwise, you're going to have to register them when you're there, and the line can get pretty long.
Yeah, we definitely want people to enjoy as much of the expo as possible. So any of the early registration that you can do ahead of time, definitely do it, because it's only going to benefit you in the long run, and you'll get the most value out of being at Expo, of course. Let's see here. What did we answer if people lose their badge or they change your badge information? Did we answer that question?
Now, if you lose your badge or change your badge information, just visit us at the registration desk. One other thing from Julie, other than exhibitors, all others need to have their QR code for each badge. They can pick up a friend's badge, but they must have the QR code. So I was incorrect. You can pick up your friends, you just need their QR code.
I want to let everyone know too, Grace is dropping the link for the Discord in the chat. So feel free to jump on that, and we will see you on Discord.
And that's a really great way to keep in continuing communication with us. Because a lot of times, while we're working, we have the Discord up, and if you're like, hey, I have a question about this, usually somebody answers it within a few hours, if not right away if it pops up. So it's a good way. So then that way it kind of saves you from having to send an email, and we can kind of address it, which is really, really great. And Grace says we monitor our Discord Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and sometimes even 5 p.m. Sorry, what did I say? 7 p.m. Did I say
7.
Sorry, 9 to 5 p.m. But
during our
some of
business
us,
hours.
some of us actually kind of we might even reply outside of those hours if we're available. But it's a great community. People have been super kind, super nice, and it's been a great way to be able to communicate with the members of GAMA, and we're hoping that it becomes a valuable resource for the folks that are members. What do I do if I'm missing booth items?
You will go to the Fern Exhibitor booth, which is in the back right corner of the exhibit hall. Oh, and also another note, lost badges will not be replaced. Do not lose them.
Don't lose them.
But yes, if you are missing booth items, if you are missing a table, anything like that, check in with Fern. They're the ones who are taking care of that type of thing. So back right corner of the exhibit hall.
Ooh, this is the one I'm curious about.
Will I be able to buy directly from exhibitors at the show? What's the answer, Beth? Beth,
well, as
you know this answer.
Yeah, I mean, this is typically an order writing show, so exhibitors aren't going to have a lot of product there. They may sell you some at the end of the show if you ask nicely, but this is really an order writing show. So again, they're not going to be selling games to everyone.
Exhibitors usually only bring in like a copy or two. Sometimes folks bring in like 4 or 5 copies just to show off, but it's not like a typical convention. It's definitely a B2B show where they're just kind of showing off and then taking orders and then either fulfilling those orders directly after the fact or fulfilling them through distribution, and then just taking those orders and giving them to the distributor to ship them to you. And that's really great. The one great thing about the GAMA Expo is a lot of these exhibitors have some sort of show special. And so just by going to GAMA Expo and placing an order, you might get some sort of savings for placing an order while you're there. Or sometimes exhibitors even do orders after the fact. I would encourage most exhibitors to do exactly that, to make sure you leave that window open for maybe a week or two after GAMA Expo, because like I said, a lot of these retailers get so much information put in front of them that they can't digest it all right away, and they usually have to go home and go through all the materials that they've come across, and then they'll place an order. So it's only more beneficial to you to have that window open for a little while even after Expo.
Yeah,
and then we also have a link down below where you can see the show specials, because we provide that too.
It's also on the app, and it's also take a look at those before you come to the show. If you're an attendee, it might really guide you as to what booths you want to visit.
Which leads us into our next question.
Yes, let's. What was that last one? It was how many? Where is it? How many exhibitors are there, and how can I visit and how many are there, and how can I visit as many as possible? I'm going to tell you that the exciting thing about this expo is that this GAMA Expo Expo Hall is the largest expo hall in the history of GAMA Expo. This is so exciting. Like I've been part of GAMA Expo for I think for so many years, and to see it just grow and grow and grow, especially since coming to Louisville. Like this year, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Beth, but don't we have over 350 exhibitors this year? I think it's even approaching 360.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. That's amazing. I love that so much. And then how can I visit as many as possible? Don't be like me and be chatty with everybody that you come across and just get stuck in like 2 or 3 booths during the expo hall, because that's usually what happens.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah,
never would have guessed that you're chatty.
No. I'm not chatty. I'm not chatty at all. But yeah, definitely try to come up with a game plan. Like I said, the expo hall is huge, and we have 12 hours? No, how many hours? 12 hours to go through the expo hall between the 2 days, right? Because we have 4 hours on Wednesday and then 8 hours on Thursday. So maybe make like a mental note as to like divide the hall into thirds, and then know that for each 4 hours cover a certain third. But kind of pace yourself that way. I think that's usually how I've done trade shows in the past.
Yeah,
so that way, make sure to take it all in.
Go through the site book, go through like show specials, prioritize the ones that you really are interested in first. hit those up and then
Absolutely.
go from there.
Yep. Are there any areas or events to connect with manufacturers? That's a good question. I know that there's some on the Expo Hall. There's some in the Expo Hall this year.
I've seen some posting on our member group too, that they're setting up times, dropping their Calendlies and everything.
Yeah.
So
set up an appointment with some of the manufacturers. They do have events. I know I went to like a Long Pack Games event last year. So connect with them, make appointments. Yeah, definitely make appointments. Do that right away as soon as you can to make sure that there's space for them to talk to you. But the manufacturers definitely want to talk to publishers for sure. So they'll make time to visit with you.
James says the Horizons Fellowship Dinner is an invite only, but the DEI mixer afterwards is open to everyone. And there should be light snacks and soft drinks. Hope to see you there. Thanks, James.
Yeah.
Excited to see you at the Expo again.
And that's a good thing to point out too. Our Horizons fellows, don't they actually have booths too in the exhibit hall?
They do this year. Yeah, that's exciting. There's 6 booths that they have on the Expo Hall, and you'll definitely have to check them out. I think they're booth 817 or the area 817 last I checked. So yeah, exciting to see them there. Has there been thought about expanding the exhibit hall hours for 2026? Michael, that is a great question. I think that with the exhibit hall being as large as it is, and Julie can confirm, yes, we are hoping to expand the exhibit hall hours for 2026 and beyond. It's as long as the exhibit hall expands, I think that's it only benefits everybody to have more hours so folks can take it in. And yeah, it's exciting.
And isn't it different this year how we did the hours? I thought I heard.
Yeah, it is different this year because we're kind of working with the bumped up week because of the New York Toy Fair conflict. So this year it's 4 hours on Wednesday and then 8 hours on Thursday. Usually it used to be I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They'd be 4 hours in the afternoon, like 2 to 6, I think every day. So it was kind of spread out over three days. So you're still getting the same amount of Expo Hall hours this year. It's just set up a little bit differently than previous years. And Julie can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the plan is to go back to that 3-day setup or 3-day schedule next year, and maybe hopefully instead of 4 hours we go to 5 or 6 hours. Of course, that's a lot of hours for an exhibitor. Especially if they're going to be doing premiere presentations and all that during and taking meetings, before those days in the morning or the days leading up. So I would assume that we'd go back to those 3 days, that 3-day format, like during next year or in years going forward. But we'll see. You should meet them. Horizons booth is 817. I was right. Awesome. Thank you, MythWorks. All service providers would love to schedule meetings with publishers. Oh, that's Michelle. Michelle works for Seller Slice. Seller Slice is a agency or marketing agency that helps you sell your products on Amazon, and I'm sure she would be glad to talk with anybody that is at GAMA Expo. I know she's taking meetings as well. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do think we have some Seller Slice videos on our YouTube channel.
We do.
Too.
We do.
So if anybody is curious about what they do, they can watch that.
Exactly. Michelle has a cool looking business card too. I have Michelle's business card. Yes. And I will definitely agree with MythWorks. It is a great business card, but it isn't. There's some pretty creative business cards out there on the market. So I would like, if anybody has a really unique business card at GAMA Expo, I would love to see it. So definitely feel free to show them off if you come across me at the GAMA Expo, because there are some. That's one thing I love about this industry is there's so many creative folks in this industry, so many great creatives that they come up with really unique ways to market themselves and what they do. So I've seen business cards that are parts, like a card for a game. I've seen business cards that are just like stats for RPG characters. So if anybody has a unique business card, I'd love to see it. Make sure to stop me and show off your business card to me, because I would love to see it, because I just love the creativity that this industry creates. Let's see here. Will badges be printed already, or are they print on demand?
Depends on when you registered them.
Yeah.
If you registered them in time, they'll be already printed. If not, they'll be printed right there.
For sure. Yeah, definitely register in advance, because the folks that have registered in advance, I think that we've printed out their badges. So anytime you can do that. So even if you can't do pre-register already this year, next year, make sure to pre-register, because it just makes, again, we don't want you to be standing in line. We want you to experience as much of GAMA Expo as possible.
Oh, attendees will go through scan and go.
Yeah.
Is what Julie's saying. Yeah.
Gotcha. Jackson asked, do people bring trade binders for their business cards? I haven't seen that, but I would love to see folks do that. That's a great way to organize them. Usually they just all end up in my back pocket when I go do one of these shows. So that's definitely a better way of doing it. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind for future shows. And I would love to have a trade binder going forward.
I think, Doug, don't you have an actual trading card?
Oh my gosh.
When we're ask if you want to see Doug's trading card, ask him to see that.
So yes, I do have a Topps baseball card. There's a whole story behind it. And if you would like one, stop me at GAMA Expo and I will be glad to give you one. But I don't usually just give them out willy-nilly. It's just Grace.
Will you sign it if people want it signed?
If people really want a ruined piece of paper, I will definitely sign it. But no, I'm not. That's you guys are all just ridiculous. But there's a story behind it. But anyway, I'm excited to see everybody at GAMA Expo. I know I speak for the three of us on this AMA that we love this industry. We love the people that are part of it. We're here, and because we want to help you succeed, and we want to make sure that everybody is successful at GAMA Expo and just in this industry. So we're really, really excited to be a part of this. I know that was one of the reasons why I came on to GAMA. I know that's one of the reasons why Beth came on. And I know that's one of the reasons why Amy came on, because a lot of you folks are doing something that you love, and this is something that you want. You want to create games. You want to create experiences. You want to create stuff that folks can kind of escape their everyday lives. And I've said this before, but like that's a special place to be. And if we can help in some small way to help you do something that you love, create something that you love, and put that out in the world, like that's a special place for us to be. So we're really honored to be able to be a part of that. So yeah, thank you. Before we sign off, I just wanted to say that on behalf of GAMA and the folks here. Craig at Nerdburger asked, shout out to Craig. I'm excited to see Craig at GAMA Expo. Where do we pick up badges on Sunday?
You can pick them up at the Galt in the Wilkinson room from 10 to 6.
We're almost at our time. Beth, is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off?
Just reach out to us if you have any questions. We're happy to answer them. And, if we don't have the answer, we will find it and get back to you. But we are all really excited to see you all. If you're coming to Expo, and if you see us, please feel free to come up and say hi. We are all friendly people.
We are. Amy, what would you like to tell folks before we sign off?
Well, I'm really excited to meet everyone. I love interacting with our members and talking with them and learning more about what they do. So if you see me, please stop me. I'm also having a plushie meetup. So if you have a little plushie for your business, we're going to create some content together. So I'm going to have Crit with me. Definitely bring your plushies. And if you need the information on when that's happening, you can email me at media@gamma.org. I'm also happy to help you brainstorm ideas for marketing yourself, either at Expo or at Origins. I love doing that and happy to help our members where I can. So again, you can email me at media@gamma.org.
So many folks are saying thank you for giving your time. Thank you to you for tuning in and being a part of this. If you enjoyed this at all, please let us know. In the Discord, let us know, hit that like button so we can kind of see how many folks are getting some sort of value out of this, so we can make sure we can do these again. I love to do these on a regular basis for you all, these, because I think it's important. And also, I think we need to give a shout out to a few folks. Let's give a shout out to John Stacy for the director of GAMA. And we also give a shout out to Chris Turney, the director, deputy director of GAMA. They do some great things behind the scenes and not behind the scenes that make GAMA run. We want to thank Greg for all the member badges and all that stuff that Greg does behind the scenes. Greg is great, and he's been furiously just making sure the badges all work and printed out. And you're going to see him at registration a lot. You're going to see him. Shout out to Paul. Paul is our events manager. Paul is great, and he's such a huge help with everything. That especially with events that for not only GAMA Expo for Origins. Jose wants to know, are there any tables left for Origins? If you're looking for booths, we might be able to help you out. So Jose, hit us up at exhibitors@gamma.org. Let's see who else. We want to give a shout out to Brian, our member services manager. Brian does a great job of recruiting and finding all sorts of things for our members. So definitely thank him quite a bit. You'll probably see Brian. Brian usually has like a blue mohawk that he usually sports. Really kind of cool guy. I don't think I could sport a blue mohawk, but Brian definitely pulls it off with really well. We want to give a shout out to our director of behind the scenes here. Also the person that does a lot of the audio visual stuff for GAMA, and that is of course Grace. Great. I don't know, Grace, you want to pop on and show your face real quick? Shout out to Grace. Thank you, Grace, for all your help tonight. We appreciate you. And last but not least, we want to say thank you to David.
Yeah,
David, the education coordinator, and thank you to David for lining up what is the most educational seminar and content for GAMA Expo that we've had. We also want to give a shout out to Peter. Peter is in charge of all the DEI committee and all that. And we want to thank Peter. Peter is actually a new ad, so we're excited to have Peter part of the team. Thank you so much to Peter for all that he does. And of course, we want
Chelsea
to give a thank you.
Don't forget Chelsea.
We want to thank Chelsea. That's right. Chelsea is our office administrator. Chelsea is amazing. Chelsea's going to help us at game night, Beth, and I'm excited that the three of us are going to be doing game night. I knew I was going to forget that. But Chelsea is amazing, and we love Chelsea so much, and I'm so excited to actually meet Chelsea in person for the very first time at GAMA Expo, because she seems like such a delight. And but of course, we want to give a big thanks to Julie. Julie, thank you so much for helping us in the chat, and thank you for all that you do. And we greatly appreciate it. I know all the exhibitors greatly appreciate it, and we're excited to be able to bring GAMA Expo to you and help you. And if you need anything from us, feel free to reach out. Like Beth said, it can be email, it can be just in person at GAMA Expo. We're glad to help, and we only, like I said, we're only here to help you succeed, and we really want to to help out as much as possible. All right. Also, hit that subscribe button in the YouTube channel. If you watched all this way and you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, because then that way you'll be notified as soon as we post new content or do more of these AMAs. So thank you so much. Make sure to claim your Doug card. Oh my gosh!
And I also want to point out too, we have Expo Plus that's going to be streaming during Expo. Right. Our wonderful tech person, Grace, is going to be in charge of that and making sure everything goes where it's supposed to. So if you can't make Expo, make sure you tune into that. We have some great things lined up. We have Pixel Circus that's going to be hosting. Super excited to see that, and some of the recorded education sessions. So really looking forward to it.
Thank you. I knew I was going to forget. So sorry. I'm so excited to just chat with everybody that I just get so like in my head that I don't even remember the things that we're supposed to mention. So thank you to Beth and Amy for being a part of this session. Thank you to everybody that joined us live, and we're excited to see you at GAMA Expo and hopefully Origins as well. So hit us up. Bye.